Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another First Impressions video. In today's First Impressions video, we are taking a look at my Sig M11-A1. There are no sponsors to the channel right now other than myself. If you want to help me out, you can click that subscribe button and comment down below. It gives me the motivation to keep these videos coming out. Furthermore, I do have my incredible B channel that is actually growing right now. My B channel is called FF Lifestyle, and it's not for everybody. It's not gun-related content over there. It's adventure vlogs, pretty much any boarding sport you could imagine, mountain biking, random vehicle reviews, working on my cars, pretty much anything in between, and I really love doing it. So if you want to just kind of mix up your subscription feed with a bunch of cool random stuff that's all genuine, hit that subscribe button in the card on the right hand corner of your screen and help me get to 1,000 subs. So this is not the first time that I have gotten a Sig 229-ish, or in this case 228 variation of these hammer-fired Sig pistols. And the first one that I had was one of the versions that I actually ended up getting rid of. I don't know, man. I did not like that gun. And it was just, the shooting experience was always kind of subpar for me. And I have always loved the 226s, but this size of the Sig 9mm hammer-fired guns always just like did not fit my hand all that well. It was always very chunky up on the top and then very slim with not a lot to hold on to on the bottom. And then also, I would always run dry and get a click when I was empty and not a slide locked to the rear. And the reason for that is because where the slide release is on these pistols, and the same goes for the 226, I just like perfectly, like right there. I'm barely touching it, but that is enough on these guns to not hold the slide to the rear. So essentially what I have to do is move my thumb from here to here, and that makes sure that my slide locks open every time with this pistol. So I sold that, and I really had no plans to get another 229, 228 variation ever again. And then, of course, these days it is quite the buyer's market for firearms. It is a terrible time to be selling a gun. But if you are in the market for pistols, or if you're a YouTuber like myself, you can come across quite a few deals. And I actually was able to pick this sucker up for $500 flat with 8 factory Sig 15-round magazines, which is like ridiculous. And amazingly, minus the magazines, that's about what M11s have been going for recently on Broker and other areas. It is just, again, not a great time to be selling a firearm. But nonetheless, I saw the deal on this thing, and I just, I could not pass it up. It was a great pistol, and although my last 229 was just kind of like one of the standard 229 elite models, this one, being the M11A1, is just a little bit more cool. We got the military QR code on the left-hand side of the pistol, and this is in the same genre as the 226 Navy variation. And if I'm not mistaken, the M11A1 was also used in the Navy role in a concealed carry type of setup. So again, the cool factor of this just being an M11A1 with the threaded barrel and just all the mags, I just wanted to give it another shot. And I brought it to the range. I had about 300 rounds with me, a mix of 147 grain flat nose ammunition and also 115 grain steel case. And to no surprise, it ran 100% reliably without any issues whatsoever. And I didn't expect there to be issues. Of course, elephant in the room, this is a Sig pistol. Would I buy any bit of a Sig striker-fired pistol these days? No, absolutely not. I'm not really, quite frankly, a fan of Sig as a company in any way, shape, or form. But When it comes to SIG firearms, I do have a soft spot for any of the older hammer-fired pistols. I've never really had any major complaints, no reliability issues, and this is made long before, this particular one being used, made long before any of the striker-fired variations even came out on the market. I did run this suppressed with my Dead Air Ghost 45 ACP suppressor. This pistol in particular with the factory threaded barrel is the European 13.5x1 left-hand thread pitch, and a lot of folks don't like that, but in my experience, having a left-hand thread pitch on your pistol ensures that during shooting, your suppressor actually stays on the gun versus the American 1/2x28 thread pitch. I've never really had to tighten a suppressor with a European thread pitch at the range, and that was, of course, the case with this M11A1. It shot okay suppressed. I am really not a fan of shooting pistols suppressed anymore. It does all but nothing for me. It was really cool the first time I ever got this suppressor many years ago, and within a few range days I'm like, man, this kind of sucks. It's blowing a bunch of stuff back in my face, it's not even that quiet, and I got nowhere to put the pistol in a holster. It's just kind of obnoxious, and that was really kind of my experience with running this suppressed. It was okay, not super quiet, even with 147 grain. And then also, I thought what was interesting, the factory spring, recoil spring in this pistol, was very light with the suppressor on the end. It has been a second since this piston housing has been cleaned up, the Nielsen device and this Dead Air, and sometimes that can happen if it's not properly greased up in here. But basically, the slide was very sluggish upon racking around in, and I mean, if I pushed out quickly, it would almost like kind of go out of battery and then kind of like get hung up, and I could push it forward a bit and it'd go right back into battery. It didn't really necessarily have a malfunction. It still ran the whole magazine, didn't have any issues, but it was notably light on the spring for suppressed use. As far as how it shot with the can, no complaints. I mean, it shot pretty good, but I much preferred to shoot it unsuppressed for the remainder of the range day. I think I shot about 4 mags suppressed. All the rest were unsuppressed, and no complaints whatsoever. Now, when it comes to the double single action rolls of this pistol, the single action is excellent. You have a very nice 2-stage with clear, defined take-up, and then you're going to get a nice wall there, and your break. And the reset, this does not necessarily have the SIG short trigger reset, but it is pretty damn close. It feels like a short trigger reset to me, and your break again right away. When it comes to the double action pull on the pistol, it's all right. It's about as much as you would imagine any double action trigger to be. Now, I had a Cherry No Dash Smith Model 28 at the range with me today, and if you're familiar with any old Smiths from the 60s or 70s, that's like cheating. The double action is so freaking good. So having that and then going to this double action was noticeably at the range. So I shot it primarily in single action, other than, of course, the very first round out of the magazine. As far as switching my thumb, once I did that to the pistol, I did not have any issues the entire range day with the slide not locking to the rear. So just remembering, you know, a small change in grip. It's not the most comfortable thing, but once you change that grip, it's not the end of the world. So I gave this pistol another look, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think this variation of this pistol is probably my favorite, the M11A1. I think that is really cool, and what I would love is to get a 226 Navy as well and have kind of the pair. Those would be my favorite SIG hammer-fired pistols that I think have been ever made by the company, and also the original German SIG 226s. Those are just incredible guns. So I don't know, there's so many of these nowadays, and I feel like the pistol market is so unbelievably saturated that it takes a lot to get me like overly excited about a pistol. Would I pick one of these up used now? I think yes, absolutely. Now that prices have plummeted on Sig pistols. It's a great time to pick up an M11A1. Would I be chomping at the bit to get one? I mean, you know, it's a good gun. I don't think you could go wrong with it. There's definitely a lot of holster options out there for the 229, 228 series, so kind of like a meh review. It's really good. Not a lot to talk negatively about. If you guys have any other questions about this pistol or anything else on the channel, please drop them down below in the comment section, and I absolutely will get back to you or try my hardest to do so. While you guys are down there, head up to the description for the ways to support the channel, and as always, stay tuned for more great videos coming soon.